Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. That's my subject for today. Life. My mother says, c'est la vie. That means that's life. That's what she says. C'est la vie. Something happens unexpectedly. I've heard her say that all my life. C'est la vie. And she had a lot of other kind of French terms. She learned from her mother was French. So that's life. I think life for me means the quality of it. I'm big on quality, not quantity. I'd rather have simple things that we need. It's more practical to me versus a lot of nonsense and stuff. So I've learned that it's just easier to balance. Simple. Keep it simple. No need to complicate things. Life is hard enough. So I pretty much make it practice to mind my own business. Be as productive as I can. And help as much as I can. So that takes balance. That was my last subject. But in life, we do have to, or should, realize our responsibilities in living on this earth. I feel responsible for even breathing. And if you're going to be alive, might as well live well. Quality. Without complicating things. So, simplicity. That equates to balance for me. I take on a lot of responsibilities. that I don't have to, out of concern for people that I care about. But it is a responsibility to be anything. Like I said, just alive, breathing, taking up space on the earth. I feel responsible for being a daughter. I feel responsible for being a mother, of course. I feel responsible for being an aunt. And other relationships I have being friends. I feel there's a responsibility for taking on being a friend. And none of those relationships in life should equate burdens. None of those responsibilities should be a burden. So I welcome that. I don't shy away from, never shied away from responsibility. If I had a friend, I was their friend. When I had a child, I was responsible for their needs and their life, health, their health and education, and that's the most challenging relationship. Being a mother is I was going to say number one if you have children, because maybe they just always have, you may be 100% yourself, but once you have children, they have the controlling interest. They have 51%. So they have the controlling interest over me, my responsibilities to them. If there was something I wanted to do, if my kids needed something, my desires was fulfilling their needs. It was my responsibility. So I'm 100% Kim, but my kids have 51 controlling interest over me and what I want. So that was never my burden. They're my kids, never my burden. Always, always, always a blessing. So that's just my own personal life. But in general, I'm trying to think of another term my mom would always say. I'm going to think of it. French term she would always say also. I can't think of it right now. But I grew up listening to her say that, and I can't think of it right now. Because I want to keep a general subject about life, because how complicated it could get really involved. But I don't feel burdened by life myself. It's all good. I try to stay conscientious of keeping it all balanced out. Nothing out of control. Hate drama. Try to be consistent. Self-motivated. All of those things has to do with the temperature around you and how you move, operate with others. So it takes it takes awareness. It takes awareness. I never feel like I'm that in control of everything, because I don't want that job. Thanks, but no thanks. So everything is not my business. So I don't want to know every single thing everybody's doing. None of my business. And I don't want to be in control of anyone else's moves and thoughts and feelings. Really, it's theirs. You have to be in control of your own feelings, your own thoughts. And only you live in your own body and have your own brain and heart. There is a popular saying where when you eat, I don't crap. But it's just getting through life is always unexpected, and that could cause complications. The unexpected things that happen, just being on the earth, we don't have control over everything. It's impossible. So I'm convinced that going with the flow, like a river to the ocean, is my concept. It's going with the flow to get to the bigger picture. Sometimes it may be narrow and rough, and other times it may be smooth and beautiful ride. But you still head toward that ocean, that bigger picture. Stay on course. No need to complicate your life going upstream. Why? It's backwards. You're not going that way. The goal is the bigger picture. The broader understanding. The vast outlook. See as far as the eyes could see. The sunset over the water. The beautiful views. The wonder of it all is amazing. If we live, in this awareness, where it's all taking us, we don't have to be controlling, but we could keep our eyes to the light. So, all that makes life complicated. We can't focus on all the problems. That's where you'll be, right there, thinking about all those problems. If you could do something, do it. Do it. If you can't, forget about it. Forget about it. If there's anything that you can do, do it. So I wanted to remind us today not to complicate our lives. Keep it simple. Get through things one at a time. One step at a time. One thing at a time. Yeah, it's called priorities. So I adapted the concept after having twins. I was in the hospital and I went through emergency when I checked in. And I also worked at a hospital. And I knew that their process was a good analogy for life. If you go to an emergency room, they are going to attend to the people that are the most severely injured. they're going to address the problems that are imminent. And they're going to go down every room in the corridor to the person that just has the headache. If their vitals are okay, they could wait for the people that have a gunshot wound. So, I adapted that concept when I had got out of the hospital, when I had twins. Because it was impossible for me to do everything at one time. It was physically, humanly impossible. There was no way that I could, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. I remember rushing to see if I could do bottles in 5 minutes instead of 10. So I rushed. And the process is just the process. It still took 10 minutes to make bottles. So, look, some process that we have to go through is going to take that amount of time. As long as you're addressing it and giving it your full attention, I worked in the ER. And I saw doctors and nurses trying to physically working on saving someone's life. And they, a couple times, really putting everybody into. I've seen them grab machines and pumping chests and getting tubes and shots, and the energy is unbelievable in a situation like that. As long as you would hear beep, 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 they were working. It's life. As long as you have life, they're working. Sweating, rushing. Moving as fast as they can. And they would keep hearing beep, beep, beep. The amount of their heart was beating. I'll never forget it. I stood outside the door of the patient's corridor in the ER, and everybody heard it at the same time. The long beep, flat line. Everybody stopped at the same exact time. Stopped. It was 5 people working on the patient. As long as they heard that beep, they were grabbing tubes, tools, shots, airbags, pumping, sweating, screaming at each other, as long as they heard the consecutive beeps. As soon as those beeps stopped, flat line. Everybody froze. Could hear a pin drop. Everybody dropped everything. Quiet as a mouse. They stopped screaming at each other. Walked away. No life. Nothing to work on. No more purpose. So, I learned a lot. Just the concept. There's something I could do on a priority basis. I'm gonna do it until I flatline, till I die. If there's something I could do or say or give, I'm gonna do it. C'est la vie.